Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, guys, how's it going? Today, FOMC day. Big day. Big day. Let's see here. Excuse me. Well, I just wanted to check, we got advanced GDP quarter over quarter this morning, looking for reading of 1.6 with the price index of 1.8. But let's go to the charts, shall we? So, yesterday, oh my, oh no, oh no. It looks like NinjaTrader has decided to poop out on us, guys. Nope, just this one. Just this chart. Just this chart. Well, you're going to have to look at it small, but can you see that yesterday we had a little bit of an update? We had that move up in the overnight, and they were able to hold it and actually push a little bit higher. And now overnight, we're just a little bit higher again. So we may still be in a trend reversal, moving up, but it's super uncertain. Here we are, FOMC day. Sometimes they make moves. Sometimes they make moves, guys. Well, we're gonna have to shut this down. Yep. Goodbye. Oh dear. Where's my ZF? Don't need Spotify. Good grief. Oh, ZF got moved all the way over there. That's where it went. That's where you went. City you. Dang it, NinjaTrader. I want you to die. And ask. There we go. I tell you what, guys. And while we're at it, let's turn on the text-to-speech. Docs, BTS. Oh, it's not quite there yet. There we go. All right. So now you guys are on. There you are. Okay. All right. Now I think we got all that sorted out. So I wanted to see here in this last MAR, a little bit sell. It's a little bit sell. And the last bar was quite a bit buy. Quite a bit buy. So difficult to make much of that. And the open ends up being, what is the open? Can't tell. It hasn't made a new bar since the open. So I have to refresh that a little bit. So that's interesting. Let's see here. post the link in case people need it, because I noticed some new people in YouTube. ADP employment data shows manufacturing jobs disappearing, says Zero Hedge. Oh, Donald Trump is on the reward prowl too. It does appear it has to do with Nancy Pelosi retaining her speakership in the next Congress. She would like that, so she's going to put it to a vote because that's what her political left really wants. Says Steve Ducey of Fox and Friends. Donald Trump retweeting this. A disgraceful use of impeachment. It will backfire, says Donald Trump. Republicans are very unified and energized in our fight on the impeachment hoax with the do-nothing Democrats and are now starting to go after the substance even more than the very unfair, we call it unfair process, because just the casual reading of the transcripts leads everybody to see that the call with the Ukrainian president was a totally appropriate one. As he said, no pressure. This impeachment nonsense is just a continuation of the witch hunt hoax, which has been going on since before I even got elected. Republicans go with substance and close it out. Curious to know what he thinks substance means. I suppose substance means he did nothing wrong, is what he wants us to say, I think. I say us because I'm a Republican. But I don't think he did anything impeachable. I guess we can say that. I don't know. Well, guys, I think that the market is going to be a little difficult until this news comes out. And notice that they are not putting a whole lot. We are back down to 1,500 on most levels. So the liquidity has actually gone down today. That's not a particularly great sign, I don't think. I'm checking here to see if I can see everything. I got these triple monitor set up, and I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, like, I have to turn my head like this. I also don't like where the camera is. I think that the camera's like too far over there. I'd like to be down more, like eye level and everything. But I'd have to get like I'd have to get a different camera, I think. I don't know. I'm probably just stressing because I don't have much better to do until the news comes out. Utah, just west of Bear Lake, is negative 41 degrees this morning. Holy crap. I'll be interested to see if Ace says anything about the weather, because it is cold. I went out there last night because we got these chickens. And I don't know. I think chickens are just stupid. Like, you would think, well, if it was that bad, they would just go inside their chicken coop. But like 4 of the chickens are in the coop.
Hello world.
Hey, Biokas, how's it going? Anyways, I just went out there to kind of to put them in the coop because they're dumb. I think that they're like, well, there's 2 people already in there. I can't get in. And we put some plastic up to block the wind for them. And it was cold. I was only out there for like 5 minutes and I was like dying. And with the wind and everything, it was cold. So, negative 40 degrees in some parts, huh? Well, I better not go out there and find dead chickens. That would piss me off. Because I went and did a lot of work to make sure that those stupid creatures live. Continue to produce. Oh. Deutsche Bank did earnings today, huh? Deutsche tumbles. After bad bank posts negative revenue, iBanking profit plunges 73%. Oh, Donald Trump. A federal judge is allowing the Nick Sandmann libel suit to move forward against the thoroughly disgusting Washington Post, which is no longer available at the White House. He could now have a good chance of winning. Go Nick. That's interesting. He's highlighting that. He's out there trying to charge up the base, and we have a big offer showing up at 10. What does my footprint chart say? My footprint chart says sell as well. I think I could sell that. I think you could sell that, but it's going to be a short trade if you get anything out of it. But it's too close to the news. I don't think that I want to take that. So close to the news. A top Pentagon official doesn't know where Trump got details about that raid that killed ISIS leader. That is a really dumb headline. That is a really dumb headline, folks. Because he's the president.
Says morning. Tight overnight range zoo. Must be interest rate day.
Right. I bet you that they're saying that just because they're questioning some of the details that he put in there. You know what? Guys, listen. Listen. He lied. Okay? He lied. Maybe he wasn't whimpering and crying. Okay? He lied. It's propaganda. Just run with it. Just run with it, folks. Pisses off the terrorists. Why do you got to be all, stinky about everything? Good grief. Yeah, Uzi, there is a pretty tight overnight range, but they're doing something here. They're selling it. Right? We could have sold it at 09.5. I think it's a good trade, except for the news, of course. I don't want to be in a trade going into the news. But the market makers are making moves. I think that after the GDP gets released here in a minute. Okay, so here comes the poll.
Uzi Knesset says why you probably not lol.
Yeah, there's the poll. There's quite a bit of level 2 activity as it happens to. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Good number of viewers today. Thank you guys for watching. Okay, so again, we're looking for a reading of advanced GDP quarter over quarter 1.6 versus a previous reading of 2.0. And price index of 1.8 versus a previous reading of 2.4. I think that I need to switch this around. I'm going to put you guys there because she reads you out now. That works just fine. Move this here. Okay. So did it come out? Okay. Consensus is 1.6. No, that wasn't, it didn't come out. I don't think it came out. Well, it did, but it was like it happened before my clock struck the top of the hour. That's curious. Okay. 1.9. Oh, that's very good. That's very, very nice. It's very good. So how do we play this? I think that it's probably better to wait for the liquidity to come back in this instance, but they might continue to move down. They might just go straight for that 129. Ooh, and look at that big old order at 02. Oh, that's a big order at 02. I think they want that. I don't want to FOMO in on this. There was certainly a lot of backwash on that. But mostly market selling. Mostly market selling.
IQ says nice drop ZB.
Yep. I bet you ZB really gets hit too. Bet you 5-year gets pummeled. Look at how much the 5-year, the 10 years is dragging a little bit.
Wimmer Kevin says, man, such a news heavy day.
Yeah. Well, we got this, and then the federal funds rate.
IQ says AT&T currently.
Was it? I get 16 for the last swing. But I guess 18 from the high. But if you go straight from the news, it's really more like half of that. It's more like 8. Well, they're not stopping. See, I think the trade there would have been seeing the big offer and everything at 09 and selling it and holding it through the news, but I'm just not going to risk that. And then there was this whole thing. Then do you want to take it again in this area after the absorption? That's a tough trade too, because it's hard to know where it's going to go. Now that we're here, I think there's a really, really good chance that we see 02 and 129.
Wimmer Kevin says, well, we had 2 news the last 20 minutes, crude oil inventories, FOMC and Apple Facebook earnings.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. What did Apple say? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Need to fix that. Well, listen. If the quarter,
Wimmer Kevin says they should come out after close, I think.
If quarter GDP actually ends up being 1.9, that is something else. That is something else. I don't know. I think that they're going to get to 02, but do you have a good spot to do it? That's the question. Well, you could sell any of these prices. Now they're moving up. Where's kind of 05? 05 to 05 half is kind of like the volume area. Wow, there's actually a lot traded down at 04 too. But 05 was, there's some balance. There may even actually be, they could maybe even move up to 07. They could move back up to that previous little volume area. I see it pushing. It looks like iceberging is causing that one. Okay, so there's uptick. Didn't hold. What was the price index? 1.7. The alligator asking how such a miss in inflation is possible. The price index was 1.7 versus 1.8. So you kind of got a double-edged sword thing going on here because the GDP was really good. The GDP was really good. Yeah, 1.9 versus 1.6. But the price index was 1.7 versus 1.8. Which I'm not going to say that's really good, but there's less inflation. So even though the economy is doing good, it's not necessarily a reason to have to sell bonds. Well, now there's a stack at 0.5. Now this one, given the context of that one, that's a really hard one because when you get a stack, normally you think, okay, I'm going to buy 06. Okay, so there they bought 06, right? But given the place and that the trend was down, if you were a seller and you really, really wanted to get filled selling at 06, then putting a bid like that in order to get filled would be a really good idea. And they did hit 06 and 2000 traded. So I say we just kind of sit back for a little bit and watch this thing. If that stack ends up being fake, then we take it. The New York Fed GDP now estimate was spot on this quarter at 1.9. The Atlanta Fed model estimated growth at 1.9. Bloomberg estimates were for 1.6. That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. The dollar moves higher after better GDP data. And that JPY taking a big old hit there. Oh no, that's the euro. That's the euro. What about the 6J? The 6J, yeah, taking a huge hit and big pullback. And see, look, they took the 06. Now there's a huge stack at 0.5. A little bit of follow through. Apple
IQ
tells.
says Trump declares, I am the chosen one, claims to be second coming of God, Seth help.
Where does he say that? You're talking about that one from like a month or two ago where he was joking with the media. That was so funny when people freaked out about that. That was like, oh man. Like everybody really thought that he was serious. Like, are you kidding me, guys? You watched the video? Oh man. That was a while ago. That must have been like, it was still hot. It was still hot. Man, it got cold so fast over here in Utah. I don't want to go trick-or-treating. I don't know. Man, if it's going to be this cold, I don't want to go trick-or-treating.
IQ says face with tears of joy.
You know, in some spots in Utah, it's -40 this morning. Like up in the mountains and stuff. That is cold. I ain't going to listen. If it's below freezing, Halloween's canceled. That's too much. Listen, Halloween. This is an unpopular opinion, okay? But Halloween is too much work. You gotta get the costume together. You gotta get the kids' costume together. And then you gotta walk around the neighborhood. Or you gotta get candy for the kids. It's just the whole thing. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, okay? And if it's below freezing, yeah, Halloween's canceled, I think. I think Halloween's canceled if it's below freezing. Okay, well, so far, it held, and you take it, and it's to 07. Now, remember, though, 07 was a place where there was a lot of absorption.
Live action says that's major cold. Move to Florida.
Move to Florida. There you go. That's what I should do. I mean, Uzi's there. We got the guys from Optimus Futures are there. Who else is there? There's a couple of guys down there. I think I would have some friends if I moved to Florida. Maybe I should just make the move. Okay, so they made '07 go bid as well. There was an iceberg there, but they made it go bid. Only 2 hit '07 have. I don't know about this one. This I think is a short here. I'm just not sure if it's at '07. It might be at more like '08. And there's quite a bit there at '08 half too. This one could be a really difficult trade because the inflation was less than expected. I mean, there's an important inflation number in there, right? And how do you price that in? You know, like that's too complicated for us to price in. We have to rely on the order flow here. Clearly, them coming back to 07.5.
Siesta Key is very nice.
Oh, there you go. I think I would go to like Miami area or something. There's probably too many liberal people there. Maybe I might not like that. Maybe I need to go to the Panhandle. I don't know. Live in Florida. I don't know if I live in Florida. I like Utah. I just don't like the weather here. It's too hot. It's too cold. It's never just nice here in Utah. Almost there's like a few days that are nice and then extremes. Same with the Midwest. Oh, the weather in the Midwest is the worst.
Uzi Knesset says, well, you'll never have to worry about freezing here, lol.
Yeah, you never have to worry about freezing. It's the hot. You know, people in Utah will say, you know, that cold is better because you can always put on more clothes. No, I don't agree. Listen,
Uzi Knesset says mosquitoes in December and shit, lol.
Right. Listen, it can be super hot in Florida, right? And it's just hot. Okay? You don't die. You don't die from it being too hot in Florida. Unless you're like sick or, you know, unable to care for yourself. Okay? In Utah, you stay out there, you're going to die. You're going to die. Now they're holding a good bit at 07.5, see? Mm-hmm. See, he's going to try and bust it right through here. He's pushing it hard in the 5-year. Mm-hmm. Well, 17 is maybe not. Okay, I think it's right here.
Uzi Knesset says my brother lives up there now. Sending us pics of snow and whatnot. He's happy to actually have seasons, I guess, lol.
Well, you know what? It is always exciting when it
Peujo
snows.
says that why spiders grow more big there. Astonished face.
Oh, man. Okay. I like the way I got filmed there. It's not perfect. They might go through me. It's a little scary.
Live action says ZN spike down. Sell stop looks like it might not have been filled.
Yeah, there is quite a bit there that has gone through at 08. Even just in the last minute. So there was a 1926 bought into it before, and now 2469 is bought into it. And it's still offering 1,000. And we got these huge spikes here. Look at the huge spikes in level 2 in both the 5-year and the 10-year against the trend. So this is definitely a spot where the sellers are coming in. But the question is the buyer looks like he really wants to push them. So they
Live
might
action
plow
says
through
in
them.
grains the happens not getting filled, but CN is hard to believe.
Yeah. Well, if they push me out here, it'll be a spectacular move up, I think. Somebody will be very upset. Well, 08 is now bid now with 12. The 5-year kind of equalized at the moment. Okay. People buying 08.5. I don't know. Consumer spending refuses to drop. That's what they're blaming the GDP on. You know why? You know why consumer spending's not dropping? Because we're still making stuff. So people have the money. Okay. They try and take 08 and the 10-year down again. They do, but somebody buys it back up. And now we're seeing a little bit of stacking in the 5-year.
Live action says you look good. SRTH price has to get through a lot here. I think you'll have time to see if you're wrong before stop hit.
I think you're right, live action. I think this is a really good. You know what? I did not take it live. I will admit, okay? I could take this one live. I mean, it seems like a really good setup, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it right now. So, but everything about this seems good. Like the risk reward seems good. The signal, there's definitely a very clear signal that says short. So we just have to see if it turns out or not. Or rather, I should say, I don't know how confident I am about this trade actually working out, but this is absolutely the trade that I'm supposed to take based on my plan. And now the one problem I do see was there was the whole stack at 05.5, you know? Okay, now they take 07.5 offer. That's gonna upset a few people. Yeah.
Live action says S holding good sign.
Yeah, the E-mini buying up there. In fact, we're getting a little bit of a surge in the E-mini.
Ace Trades says morning.
Good morning, Ace. In fact, I bet back here at 30, 35, 25, the Ace might have gotten along. And the other thing that sucks about the weather is dries
Ace
you
Trades
out.
says yeah, if my butt hadn't still been in bed.
It's cold, man. It's hard to get out of bed when it's like this outside, right? There's something about it, like your body knows it's too cold. We should just stay in bed all day. That's all they give on though. 7, huh?
Ace Trades says 15 degrees.
It's 15 degrees where you are. They said on the one of the Twitters that at Bear Lake it's -40. West of Bear Lake it's -40. That is crazy. Okay. So they make it go offer again, but they had to.
It'll be 95 here in a couple hours, lol.
95? What, really? Oh, man. Well, maybe the cold is coming for you, Uzi. It's that darned global warming, I tell you what. It fights a bit much at 07. How much traded up there? 37, 41, 74 total sell. I think it's enough. I don't know why he doesn't just let it go.
Live Action says I'll be in Sarasota later today by Siesta Key but on business then over to Tampa.
So riddle me this. Say you're a buyer. Say you want to buy this. You're like convinced the Federal Reserve is going to be like, we're doing monetary easing and maybe we might cut rates again a couple more times next year. And like, we are like so dovish right now, guys. Like, you markets, you better, you just buy all the things because we are going crazy with the money.
Ace Trade says one of my worst skills, entering a long trade on upside, looking for a pullback.
So say that you know that they're going to say that and you want to buy it. Why would you buy it at 07? Why would you buy it at 07? We had this big move down. There wasn't, kind of petered out, reversed, and now we're getting this reversal. Why wouldn't you wait and let it go down 07? Okay, so maybe one potential is there's some shorts, and if I can push it past 08.5, I might get lots of drama. Maybe that's one reason why he wants to buy it there.
Uzi Knesset says to mess with sellers, lol.
To mess with sellers, yeah. To mess with me.
Uzi Knesset says 95% of market action is just messing with people, haha. Ace Trade says short signal 3037.75 but I'm not taking it.
Bloomberg, here's why the Fed cutting rates a quarter point could be so good for stocks. Well, that 08 going bid. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the trade's just too obvious, guys. I don't know. Could also just be, oh, I know that because of the poor inflation and everything else that it's really a buy. And so he doesn't want to wait, That 09 pulling is a little... Yeah, it shouldn't be pulling that easy. And of course, there's an iceberg underneath of it. This kind of reminds me of the move we had yesterday. Remember a move we had yesterday where it was like a reversal? It was a long, but they came down really hard first.
The one thing I don't like about this ZN is it came back too far after breaching level where stops might have been.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because when we came down, there was people took positions around this area right here, and they pushed through them pretty easily. And now they're up to the 09 half. And it's not like the sellers didn't do their push. It's just like the buyer held it. And the seller's getting out of the way. In fact, look at the cumulative delta. The cumulative delta is about to hit a high of day. Okay, so there's my stop. Back to the news price, in fact. A 5-year came up there very quickly too. There was many places where there was no backwash. Now 10. Well, I think that a buy here would be appropriate, but you want like some selling first, right? Buy a 10.5, maybe. I don't know. It sucks. And it's kind of funny how that worked out, because remember I said, like, this is totally the trade that I'm supposed to take, but I don't know what it was about it that made me feel not confident about it. But I was right to be skeptical. Maybe it was just because it was too obvious, you know? And also maybe because I'm not so sure that the way that GDP came out is actually bearish for bonds. Okay, that was stops right there. Woo! That was quite the move up. 04 to 10, that's 12 ticks up. Well, it did give a long in ZF. Ten half was the open, by the way. Some absorption at 10, huh?
Live action says the bid side is thick. Ever see the algos hit on a spike down when the bid fills big across the bid in an instant?
Yeah. Okay, well, like, look at the Vista chart, right? So there was some liquidity down below us. Here was the move. We went down. And then on the way up, big bid showed up at 05 half. That was the one that I was pointing out was maybe a spoof. Okay. They petered out. They came back here. They never went into the 05 half. They shied away from it. Like I said, the buyer held it. And now look, as we're going up, a little bit more stacking beneath it. And there was not a lot of liquidity above us in the 10 years. I wonder why that is. So I don't think that these should be so dark, these prices. But it is. Okay, so there's 09 half. Okay. And where was the click? It was at 09. The thing is that sell was pretty good off of the news, and the buyers really look like they held it. And the trend the past 2 days has kind of been reversal up, anyways. So I'm suspecting that it's not just the GDP. You know, I'm suspecting that there is a much higher time frame buyer down there that really thinks they know something. And if that's the case, I think that higher time frame buyer would want to try and push us into a more balanced area, like 129, 30, 120, 130 area. Yeah, 130 area. Federal Reserve watch live today press conference with FOMC Chair Powell at 2:30 Eastern Time. Live. Will Jerome Powell enact quantitative easing? What will happen to the repo facility? Will they mention it? Will there be a fourth rate decrease this year? Find out. 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. 3,000 into 09 half. Well, there was a lot pushing into the upside back where we were taking it too, though. So I don't know about that. It seems to me that trying to buy along with the icebergs today has been a bad idea. Look, they go through him. Well, one thing we can say is now that we are up here, there's more level 2 activity. A lot more level 2 activity. And we're getting something in the 30-year. Actually, we're getting something in both of them. That could suggest buying here, and if this was like a strong buy, this would maybe be a spot to do it. The inside bid in the 10-year is equal on both sides.
Uzi Knesset says quick short for me, 28 to 26.
Okay, that's interesting.
Uzi Knesset says X3.
And you got it. Good job. Interesting, this action here at 17 3/4 in the 5-year. They've hit into it, but they haven't been able to make it go bid, and the offer is putting out more. It looks they're playing with the inside on the 10-year back and forth quite a
Uzi
bit.
Knesset says I don't have a boatload of faith in anything right now.
Yeah. The problem I'm having here is that was a strong buy. But it's kind of giving me short signals. But I'm wondering if it's giving me short signals that this is a one-sided market and the buyers are in control, and I'm getting those because the buyers are trying to push it on the edges. And if that's the case, then 09.5 is not a bad spot to buy. You know what I mean? Probably better to be 09, 08.5, but see, now there's a tick up and there was a bid at 05.5. Moved. Do you see that? It is now at 06.
Live Action says I went short CN 129.095 but don't like it with low volume move but hard to buy when likely FOMC cut an eco data today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to cut. The question is what else they say. It's hard to know what to think on that. So now they're hitting into 10.
Live Action says good point.
There's a lot there. I would think that the risks are in favor of the upside. Probably. I mean, the whole thing is that there's this whole repo thing kind of going out there. Kind of suggests that the Federal Reserve is going to need to do some sort of a change. And that change is likely to be more easy, to print more money, essentially. And so I think that the probability is, slightly more that they're going to do something dovish. But we never really saw a trend this week. When they think they know, and I don't know how they know, but man, sometimes, they buy it. They make a trend happen. And well, okay, so they're at 10. What they took a bid, that was pretty good. I don't know how good of a price 10 is. Quarter 3 was the second weakest of Trump era. Quarter 4 2018 was 1.1. How was it now? See that 10 going back and forth a little bit now. That's why I was like, I don't know if that's the best price. They could totally bust out of here, but Paul Krugman says business investment, which is the principal target of Trump tax cut, is actually falling. That's true, but if you've got a trade war going on, business investment is going to fall. And the changes that you've seen in the market past week or two is not really going to show up in any of these numbers. So, yes. I wouldn't read too much into that because that's kind of behind us. Okay, now they're giving 09.5 again. There was a big iceberg there, though. 9,000 is sold into that 09.5. I don't know. I feel like we're stuck between because down here, okay, obviously a trend reversal of some sort. Up here, obviously a stop run of some sort. So you got two things that kind of have high probabilities of reversals, and now you're in the middle. Are they going to come up and test those highs again? I don't know. It sure is a lot selling into 09.5 though. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see there in the 5-year. Not holding it. Not holding it yet, at least. But the 30-year is up a little bit. Is the knob spread still moving down? The knob spread saw quite a wild move there. Except for that, I don't see it in this one. I only see it in my little chart. That's funny. Let's look at the ZF here. So there was a ton that sold into 17.75. Damn it. Hmm.
Live Action says Newswire today's eco data support FOMC hawkish message.
Think so, huh? Oh, they're certainly messing with us, aren't they? I think it's best to wait for the E-mini to start doing its thing. I guess I should note that in the level 2, the spike here was not like a huge spike. So, we might just be reading ghosts. There's another tick. Oh wait, half. Hmm. And they take it offer again. They didn't stick an offer on it, but
Live Action says remember try the 133 tick chart today at FOMC report and see how it helps in volatility.
on the Treasuries or the E-mini? By the way, what are we seeing in the E-mini? See some buying at 38 in the E-mini.
Live Action says I use it on both. Live Action says but only at key releases.
I don't know why I feel a strong desire to do something right now. I just don't like the way that last one turned out, I guess. It was like an unnecessary dump, but then if you had decided to hold on to it, how far are they going to push you before you're going to give up, right? I wasn't on the edge, so I don't know.
Live Action says you will see balance form inside a 1-minute bar that are getting keyed off. Wimmer Kevin says, did you read the news about Epstein? We talked yesterday about the lack of it. Jeffrey Epstein's autopsy more consistent with homicidal strangulation than suicide, Dr. Michael Baden reveals.
I did see that headline, but my immediate thought is, who's Dr. Michael Baden, and did he actually physically examine the body? Because if he didn't physically examine the body, then I don't think that his opinion is worth squat. Anyways, then it's just a rehash of an older story that, claims about the way that his injuries happened and everything like that. Saying that it doesn't look like doesn't look like it's somebody hanging themselves and all that noise. Well, we got the E-mini about to come out. Now's a good time. I have a link here in the video description. Actually, I'm going to pop it in here again. If you guys haven't read my article, go ahead and give it a look and leave a comment on the article.
Speculator Seth says. Uzi Knesset says they released that back shortly after the story broke.
Yeah.
Wimmer Kevin says the article said that he was hired by Epstein's brother and was there during the autopsy.
Oh, okay. So, but then maybe that's a bigger deal than I thought. Anyways, so here's the, man, it didn't change my person. Maybe I need to go and change.
Ace Trade says love the amateur armchair quarterback assessments. Suddenly everyone is an expert at suicide.
Right. How do I change my picture? Yeah. Oh, wait. Nope. Now I have to go and find my picture. There we go. So I don't look like a cheese ball. That's better.
Live action says Clinton fingerprints again?
I don't know. If he was there in the autopsy, then I wonder. So then my next question is, if he was there during the autopsy, is why hasn't this been talked about earlier? Well, quite a bit, trading at 0.8 Anyways, so I helped them make this article, and they're kind of trying to build their community
Uzi
up.
Knesset says it was. Michael Baden's assessment is actually old news.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anyways, they're trying to build things up, and so I would like if you guys could go and leave a comment there, and we kind of see how it goes, and let me know how you feel
Good
about
morning,
commenting
Speculator
there.
Seth. Before the E-mini opens, allow me to ask everyone to hit like. Wednesday is for winning. Live action, please tell Siesta Key I miss her and will be home soon, I hope, bye.
Siesta Key. Yes, she's paying attention. She's listening, guys. She's lurking. Be careful.
Ace Trade says at Winstanzama morning.
Anyways, I posted the link there. Try and leave a comment. Tell me, because it seems to me like it's kind of hard to see where it is, but maybe we get some ideas on some things that they can do to kind of get a little more activity over there. I guess it's always hard with the WordPress site. Obviously, they should talk more about Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know. So then, having not read the story in depth, did they say...
Winstan's mom says good morning, Ace Trades one day, we should dance on a beach. Back to lurking, now.
Would, like what about it is not consistent? I mean, or is it really like there's no way that somebody that's killing themselves could make that happen, sort of a thing? There's still high level 2 activity here, guys. The level 2, the way the liquidity is stacking is not helpful because they kind of stacked on both sides of this. What about over here? It's kind of the same sort of a thing.
Ace Trade says at Winstanzamom we will do the dirty dancing move where I hold baby up in the air. Live Action says at Winstanzamom thumbs up. Wimmer Kevin says those 3 fractures are extremely unusual in suicidal hangings and could occur much more commonly in homicidal strangulation. Baden, who is also a Fox News contributor, said. Winstanzamom says nobody puts baby in a corner when Ace is holding her up. Wimmer Kevin says while there's not enough information to be conclusive yet, the 3 fractures were rare, said Baden, who's probed cases involving O.J. Simpson, President John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King.
Did you guys see that? What happened there in the level 2?
Wimmer Kevin says this are just copy-pastes from an article.
So nothing's happening. I put an order on. They immediately hit it. And goes bid again. We are in Iceberg City here, I think, folks. That's why I'm getting so many of these bars that are high. Kennedy was a suicide.
Ace Trade says Kennedy was a suicide.
Which Kennedy you talking about? I tell you what, Kennedy sure got assassinated at a critical time in the Vietnam War. It's a little suspicious. I understand why there's so many conspiracy theories about him,
Orlovsky
even to
says
this
all of them.
day. I mean, all of the forensic
Live Action
evidence.
says didn't they have cameras to support?
All of the forensic evidence and everything seems to line up with the official story, but the context of it is just extremely suspicious. Okay, so 09.5 goes bid. A few trade into 10. Those offers at 10 and 10.5 don't look like they're ready to go away. Somebody just stacked 600 at 09.5.
Ace Trade says at
And
Live
then he
Action
pulled
y'all,
it.
traffic camera film was a bitch to change out.
The E-mini opening here showing a little bit of sell activity on the open, though. It moving is causing a lot of adjustments. Okay, another uptick. Kind of out of nowhere, to be honest. Okay, they're selling that. They're selling that pretty hard. And this is, they're already breaking some previous levels too. Like below 30, 35, 50. Yes, that's not good. Okay, it's pulling back already though. So I don't like that because it suggests to me that I'm now actually in an E-mini trade, and that's not what I want. They've moved up 2 ticks and then down 2 ticks based off of what the E-mini did on the open. Now they're going back up again because the E-mini's testing the low again. But there hasn't actually been like a clear volume breakout. Well, if they keep pushing down, it could get dramatic though. It's still seeing a lot of level 2. Yeah, you can always get out and just take 1 or 2.
Wimmer Kevin says, well, you can always get out of the trade. Just take 1 to 2 T profit if you don't like this kind of trades. Live Action says LNQ.
I guess part of it is just that, all through here, icebergs everywhere. And then all of a sudden, 2 ticks up, 2 ticks down on like a few hundred, It's like such a sudden change. It was a little annoying at the very least. So kind of I'm also a little bit conflicted about my spot because at the moment it looks like the spot was pretty good, but it's a little close to the mini open, right? This is not action that I enjoy. Okay, so they're going offer at 34.75, but not breaking it. I've seen that go both ways in the E-mini. Sometimes they will tinker around there for a little bit before breaking hard, and sometimes they give up. Okay, now they're trying it again. Okay, and they liked that in the Treasuries. Live Action went
Live
long.
Action
NQ?
says NQ some off leave runners. Live Action says Dame stopped on runners.
Yeah. They're selling the E-mini, guys. They're going to go for the overnight low. The overnight low is 2032. There's a big old order down there, in fact. 10.5 in the 10-year.
Ace Trade says let her drop. I took short 3038.00.
Okay, so there was 1600 there, and it took 1100 to tick up, and then 700 immediately hit into 11. I'm not so sure if those were stops. The way that it traded, I don't think that it was like a straight up like retail stop, but
Live Action says NQ again long.
Okay, so they had a bit of a drop there in the E-mini, and they bounced off of the overnight low. Oh, no, wait. They went through it. It says here they went through it. Yeah, they went through it. They went through it and then bounced. A little bit unclear if they can get much more. Okay, 10.5 is bid again, and they're going to hit into 11 more. Manage our stop here. But I'd like to try and let it just breathe. Because that action in ES is not positive. So what is the trade thesis here in going long off of that? I think that the market is worried that the Fed is going to come out hawkish after that GDP. Okay, so now they are holding below the overnight low. Do we have some spots from yesterday? Okay, yesterday's low, 30.29.25. Let's come in here so that we can get that marked. Okay, previous low, 30.29.50 to be exact. Yeah, do you see the way that the buying orders come in? It's kind of like a little flood of them. Oof. My stomach's, some food's hitting my stomach and my stomach's not so sure it likes it. That 11 pulled now. There was 1600 on it before, and they were never really able to hit it. Okay, so now it goes bid. Okay. It does fight back a little bit, and the 11.5 is still stacking too. But we're starting to get some indications that the sellers are getting out of the way now. We're starting to see a little bit more. Okay. So now the 10-year is starting to show some level break kind of activity, in fact. But the 5-year and the 30-year are not showing the same, like, okay, the 30-year moved up a lot though, by the way. So the spread is still, the knob spread is still going down. Okay, now they're hitting into 11.5 and that pulled. He's probably surprised there that when that pulled that more orders didn't hit it. So now, yeah, that 12 there. Whew, okay. Yeah. Look at that. Now those are stops. Okay, so a lot of volume trading through in this 12 to 12 half area. Ooh, but it doesn't look, it's not ticking around quite right like that. Okay, maybe that one. So the way that they're doing that. Is a 10 tick long? Really? Okay. See him slamming it up. They seem to think, I think somebody seems to think that there's still more stops out there left. And I would tend to agree. There was certainly some unhappy people down there, but it was not like cray cray or anything. If I can get that, I'm gonna take it. So they traded 33 at 12.5. It's actually only what I see there on the DOM is what I see there on the footprint chart too. That's not that crazy. I mean, we were seeing 579s down in here, right? So I think there's probably still a lot more imbalance to come out. Well, they took that 12.5 a little quickly. E-mini certainly doing a bit of a pull. Oh, okay, well, that's interesting. I'm sitting here like, oh, the E-mini is doing a little bit of a pullback, and then there was like 3 ticks up and 3 ticks down, and I don't know what to make of that. But you see that the treasuries are still ticking like something's up. I wonder if
Live
this.
action says, I wonder if this is one of those days when market spikes down before a long trend day higher.
I think so. Like, I mean, because think about the whole setup, right? Okay, somebody was going long yesterday. Okay, actually, probably Monday and Tuesday, somebody was going long, and then the GDP news came out, and they sold down quickly off of that. I'm gonna have to move that. And then there was, they discounted the inflation news, which kind of pushes the whole thing, and then it was able to push up way more easily than it should have. And now that we're going up and we're making new highs, it's starting to really push. So this kind of seems to have the makings of a combination between somebody was intending to make this a trend day higher anyways, but then you also had shorts get overextended and all of that. And so yeah, you could totally this could totally just keep going. Okay. So that 13.5 at pulling is a little suspicious, let's say. 13 put on the ask. So you're going to buy through it. Come on. Somebody's trying to stop it. So they're stacking at 13.5. Guys, I hate this situation. I hate it, guys. You're sitting there, you're waiting for the fill.
Live action says glad I added to this NQ because me ZN is not doing what I want.
No? Wait, did you go short? Okay, cool. I'm probably gonna regret FOMOing out, but I don't know. So let me try and explain myself, and then I'm gonna end up being wrong. I just got this feeling like I'm gonna be wrong. We moved up. They didn't quite get the 14, and I noticed a significant and noticeable drop in level 2 activity, and then we started ticking down. And when we ticked down, they were stacking
Live
on the
action
offer.
says lol still short ZN and added to compound problem.
And the stacking at 13.5 really concerned me, so I moved my profit down one and said, okay, fine, I will just take the +8. Hold on a second. Lost my. I get this thing. So sometimes the windows from Jigsaw will like disappear. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like. Dum dum da dum dum. Because I cannot see my profit window. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do something I don't do very often. I'm gonna stop it here. Well, let me just show my face here for bits, because you don't want to. You don't have to watch that. Okay. Oh, Jigsaw closes so quickly. Isn't another thing about Jigsaw? Like, I've literally never had it. Well, I don't think I've literally never had. I'm gonna say I've never had Jigsaw crash on me, and then one of you guys is gonna go and find a clip where it crashed. It's almost never crashed on me. And starting and restarting is pretty quick. Maybe I just don't have one open. Okay, well. Let's show it back up again. I'm going to have to add the filter editor. And account begins with 1. There we go. So that should be 96. Come on. 93. There we go. I kind of wanted those two that I lost back, but I don't know. So where did I took it from 09 and I got 8. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 13. Now they're hitting 13.5. 13.5 was where I saw some stacking, right? Because what we're trying to figure out here is if I took the right spot or if Seth got, what is the word? Too emotional. Too emotional, had a good winner and didn't want to lose it. There could, I mean, because the thing is going through my head right now is this could go all day. This could go, well, maybe not all day, but this could go for another 30 minutes. This could go until the FOMC meeting. And the market clearly seems to be making some sort of a call here on what the Federal Reserve is going to do. So 13.5, that was where my original order was, right? There's an iceberg there. I would have gotten filled, but there's an iceberg there. 14 is where I would have really liked to have gotten it, because that would have been 10 ticks, and that would have put me at +8 on the day. So let's see if they trade into past 14, then it's really like, Seth, you should have just stayed in.
Wimmer Kevin says, I remember you sometimes traded 2 lots, why back to 1? I mean, with 2 lots you could have taken 8T and letting the other one run, if you are confident.
Yeah, so when I was doing the 2 lots, I was just experimenting. And the end result of that experiment, in my mind, is that having multiple lots with different targets doesn't really work until you're doing 3 or 4 lots. And that's going to be a long time from now. And in the meantime, it seems to me that the way that I trade is just better to be all in and all out.
Greg Orlovsky says, I think Canadian interest at 10 o'clock EST. Question mark.
Okay.
Wimmer Kevin says, because right now it sounds like you are regretting getting out. Even though 8 ticks are nice to have, so yeah, I thought 2 lots and taking one out and letting the other one run could be a solution.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I mean, that was why I originally was doing it like that. It's exactly this kind of a situation, for sure. I couldn't get it to work. The problem is you get into, okay, that's interesting. So there's a stack at 14. Digital Shot says I have a limit on 30, but to buy? Huh. Well, anyways, so what would happen is I was getting in, and then my profit target was like +2 or 3. So what was ending up happening was, if I got a profit, it was more than my loser, but if I got a loser, it was more. But I have to explain it, because I'm just listening to myself and saying, well, that's not right, Seth. That's not how it works out. New window. Okay, so I was saying +2 for one of them and +8 for the other one, and then both of them were -4 for 2 of them. So it was like, if I lost big, okay, I lost 8, and win, I won like 1 to 8, and then the 2, that was only 10, something like that. So see, the targets and everything that I was using, it didn't quite work. You get what I mean? So even if I changed this to be 4, this was 4 and 1, and then I'm still just 12 and 8. You see, the risk reward is still like 1 to 1.5. Whereas on these ones, when I'm all in and all out, I'm doing something like win is 10 and loss is 2 to 4. It's like more than double. So the profit factor was way better going kind of in and out. Does that make sense? So it seems to me that you have to do it with more than that, right? Because if you do something like, okay, so if I lose and I do minus 12, but then if I win, and let's say that I have them at 2, when I have one at 2 and one at 4 and one at 8, and then is that right? Yeah. Okay, then you can get 14. Is that right? I think that this loss needs to be less or the winner needs to be more. And you could have multiple spots for the stops so that this could be like 8. So that this could be like minus 8. Something like that. Anyways, you kind of get where I'm getting. I don't actually know what the right strategy is for spreading those out. But I just know that I'm good enough at all in, all out. That seems to be the best strategy for my style of trading. So that's why I changed it.
Wimmer Kevin says it always depends where you take it out. I mean, if you manage it like one lot and not specific targets, like in this case, you took it out at 8T. Also, did you try using different lots based on setup?
Yeah, so that was the other thing was then I started doing different lots based on setup. So if I really thought that it was a good trade, I was taking more. That actually worked really, really well because what was happening was I would have just a bunch of low losses, and then when I got a winner, it was just like crazy good. But yeah, I don't know. then there's the FOMO. Well, not the FOMO, but the kind of the the tilt days. Because it's on tilts, and then you have a couple of losers, and then you say, oh yeah, but this one is a really good setup, right? And then you've already had a pretty losing day, and then you take it double, and then it's a really bad day, right? So that's kind of what I did that. But those were all experiments on sim. And then I got to the point where because I had money in my account for a long time, and I said, this isn't my market. And then when it came into a spot where it was my market, I started trading it again. And then at that point, I'm already over leveraged.
Says, I vary between 2 to 4 lots based on risk and reward. If I got a, let's say, penalty in a market with big reward and low reward, I try to go for 4. But yeah, tilt is always the worst enemy, lol.
Yeah. See, if I had a 10K account, then maybe I would be willing to trade 2 lots. Anyways, but as it is right now, even one light is a little bit over leveraged. But I've got some. If I stick to the action that I'm good at.
Wimmer Kevin says asterisk high reward and low risk OFC lol.
Of course, yeah. No, if I stick to the action that is favorable to me, then everything works out. But if I start trading those dead days like Monday and Tuesday were, then it doesn't. And so I've just kind of been really particular about when I trade right now. I'm literally only trading when I really see the market doing something. And there's significant news that day. And even then, I'm kind of like waiting. Like today, the first trade that I took, there was a short around here. Actually, wasn't a terrible trade, was it? Because it did give me 2 favorable. I probably could have taken that one off. This one right here, I probably could have taken that one at +2. But you can see how after that one happened, it was like for sure. Okay, now I know for sure the trend is long. Then they did this little game on me. Okay. That was the one where I said that sucks because, they might stop there, but you can really hold it and let them go, 4-6 against you. Nope, you're wrong. Take the 2, come back, get a good spot. Here, I got a good spot at 9. A good spot at 9 was cool. Like I took -2, but then I was able to get a
Kevin
rare
says,
spot.
yeah, I understand that, and was also my problem. I really suck on range and low volatility days. That's the reason I started adding more markets. First CL, then S, then ING, and now gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's another thing is I'm kind of noticing. Well, anyways, I think I can close this now, right? To me, the advantage of the treasury markets are they're very trendy and very consistent. So the amount that they tend to move, when you tend to get moves, the signals that they do, all of this sort of stuff, you can really build some consistency in the treasuries if you understand the market. Now, it takes a really long time to get there, but I feel like I'm close to that area, and I think that I've done well this month.
Live Action says you can gain some skills and sim opportunity to trade multiple markets.
Yeah. Now, the advantage of the E-mini, the disadvantage of the E-mini is it's a little random, okay? And it's not really a primary market per se. There's because it's attached to the equities markets and it's
Kevin
an index.
says even though I have 4 markets, I would say I don't have many trades because I only try to trade certain momentum moves, so usually approximately 2 trades per day. I prefer it over having 1 market and try to trade.
Holy
Kevin says everything.
shit.
Live Action says Amini is forgiving.
Holy shit. Well, should have kept that long. Wow. Okay, so the data is coming in so fast that I'm not sure that my connection is handling it. Okay. Wow. Wow, guys. Oh my gosh, what just happened? I don't see it on... Oh, wait. Oh, it was... No, I'm still seeing Canada... Bank of Canada rate decision? Is that what just happened there? I don't even know what to... Well, you know what? Good grief. I told you, it's like, I'm going to regret taking it off at some point. The funny thing is I took 13, right? And then I said...
Greg Orlovsky says no news yet.
I think it was just the Canadian... No, it can't be, because that was like... That had to have been... Unless they released it 5 minutes after the top of the hour. What the heck was that? I see it. I see it. Holy crap. What the heck? Okay. I'm not trading this. I can't make... So the news is from Zero Hedge, Chile cancels Apex Sana in Santiago next month. Says Pinera. Okay. So that was the summit where Trump and Xi were intended to meet and were possibly going to sign a trade deal.
Cancels APEC.
Yes, and we're supposedly going to we're possibly going to, do a deal, but then yesterday they said that they probably weren't actually going to sign it at that meeting, and now they're saying that the meeting isn't even going to happen. And so the market is flipping out about that. This might be a nothing. This might be a nothing.
Live Action says bingo. Wimmer Kevin says okay, news make more sense.
Yeah, that was nutso. Yeah, this might not matter. I don't know what to make of this one. Well, gee, guys. Yeah, hit, big or miss. Big says, I'm assuming the algos went in. Yeah.
Air Cages says, hey Seth, I bought BTC as per your suggestion.
You're messing with me. Because you know that I didn't say buy. Well, I didn't suggest to buy Bitcoin. I just said there's a possibility that they might continue to move up here going into the end of the year. That wasn't necessarily an endorsement of buying, and I don't appreciate you saying that. Even if you're just joking around.
Air Cages says, thanks, Seth.
Man. I mean, they're still, they come back pretty far.
Air Cages says, I'm up $2,000.
Oh, you are? Well, so when you bought, where did you buy? So it was a little, that whole thing was a little crazy because I was like, remember when it was down here, I was like, this seems a little suspicious. And I was saying all sorts of stuff about it on the thing.
$7,500-ish.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about you bought it back when I was saying, you know, this looks suspicious.
Kevin says every market in my DOM made big moves, except ING. Natural gas didn't move an inch.
Yeah.
Always find it funny how it basically ignores everything.
Do you notice too? Look, the liquidity is less now. So like, all of the Twitter algorithms came out and traded this news, or the you know, probably not the Twitter algorithms, probably the ones that were listening on the news wires. Okay, they read that, they decided that that was a sell, or that was bad. They bought it all up. It looks like they all took it off after that. They took the profit. We're about where we were. And now there's a ton of market making robots that are screwed and decided to stop trading, and the liquidity is less.
Kevin says, yeah, gold and CL were also affected. Both made new highs or lows.
Oh, man. So I'm wondering now, though.
Uzi Knesset says ZB range value at $1,187.50. If she extends the range higher, I'd be shocked.
That whole thing, like we saw the E-mini move, and we saw over in the treasuries, okay, they're definitely going to go, but
posted 10:05 move started 10:03. Wonder what news source beat them.
Huh. Okay. Well, I can't really see it, but I think that what happened was that my pipe was not big enough to pull all of the data down fast enough. And the kids are probably streaming something right now. That's weird. Well, if something ever happens like that again...
says, I'm thinking about shorting BTC. What are your thoughts?
Ooh. Wait, hold on. Let me finish my thought. If I'm ever in something like that again... let's see here. It would have been 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 17. Yeah. If that ever happens again, I'm just going to click off at plus 16 because the data is not going to come in fast enough. I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so shorting Bitcoin. Here's the thing. First of all, shorting Bitcoin is always a high risk proposition. You know, I mean, really, any kind of trade in Bitcoin right now is kind of a high risk proposition, just because these exchanges are messing with people to create these big moves, right? And they just wait for enough people to get in on one position, and then they go and they stop them out.
Live Action says, I think this is noise and a buy. It won't stop us. China deal first stage.
Yeah. So there's that. That's where to me, short-term trade in Bitcoin is not something I would endorse. Okay, I'm not saying that you're like dumb for trading them. I mean, you made good money on that one, but it's not something that I can endorse or recommend. And of course, I'm not a certified financial advisor or anything like that. Okay, and this is just for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not endorsing any specific trades. Okay. Now, with that said, I I still think that the play right now in Bitcoin is that they want to have an up move going into the end of the year for them to take profits before the profit taking time period comes in. And so there's what has been traditionally moves
Uzi Knesset
in
says
November.
G's disclaimer overload lol.
Right. But there have been moves in November, right? I mean, that was some really big moves around Thanksgiving in the 2017 or whenever it was, you know. There could still be up moves. So I would be really cautious about shorting Bitcoin right now because the timing's not right. But in the longer term, I do think that there could be a short in here somewhere. I mean, especially like if they were getting up past 1200, then I would definitely be like, well, that's well beyond what it's ever done on a valuation basis, and that shouldn't happen. So I would take that one. But yeah, that's the gist of it. But I would be more interested in taking one if they started to do toppish behavior in like a December or something like that, you know, because you're going to get that end of year profit taking. It's a very, very seasonal cycle. Now, they could always break it. This could be the year where that seasonal cycle doesn't happen, but that's the seasonal cycle. Okay, so the market has calmed down. The liquidity has come back a little bit. There's a couple thousands on here now. Goldman, the Q3 GDP report provides additional evidence that growth has slowed but likely remains close to potential.
Just post disclaimer below to always cover yourself.
Yeah. Well, I always do it at the beginning of the video, and
Air
I
Cages
should
says,
probably
okay,
put
I'll
it
hold
in
off
the...
with shorting and buy some more BTC instead. Thanks, Seth.
And wow, if that's what you're going to do. I think he's messing with me because I don't want to be like, you should buy it or not buy it. Because the honest truth is, from my perspective, the next move in Bitcoin, I can't predict. I literally cannot predict it. It's too random. It's going to be based on whether there's more people long or short on the exchange, you know, and what the whale decides to do. I don't think you could predict that. I think that's random. But in the, you know, that there's going to be end of year profit taking, I do think you can predict that.
Wimmer Kevin says, okay, yeah, I should buy this. All in Bitcoin.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, okay. What, Kevin? At first, I thought that was Air Cages again.
Good money with you, Seth. Good calls mostly.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I do have to admit, of course, Bitcoin surprises, and I kind of always think on it, and I'm like, well, you know, because I'm mostly saying that I can't see these short-term moves, a lot of these short-term moves, I can't really say like I'm right or wrong about them. And so probably in times when I'm like dead wrong, it's just discounted. But there sure has been a lot of moves where like I will post something on the Patreon and then like that day it'll move. Yeah. I mean, that's happened a ton of times. It's getting a little eerie to me. I'm starting to wonder, like, somebody is one of my subscribers a really influential whale or something? Because I don't know, it's a little.
Air Cages says you're just that good.
You're just that good, maybe, or maybe I'm just not remembering the times when I would be like dead wrong.
Air Cages says it's me.
Oh, there you go. Air Cages is a whale with several millions of dollars in Bitcoins moving around.
Uzi Knesset says shish.
I mean, he could be. I forget who it was, but there was a guy that messaged me that was a subscriber to the Patreon. And he said that because of the call that we made...
Uzi Knesset says that spike in ZB was me. I farted. Sorry.
Okay. No, there was a guy, and after the crash in Bitcoin, he told me that he sold somewhere around 13 or 14K or something like that because of what I had said in the Patreon, and that he saved like $2 million or something. And this, at the time that he told me that, Bitcoin had fallen down to like 8 or something. And I was like, wow. And I said,
Wimmer Kevin says at Uzi Knesset, please tell me when you are going to fart again. I need to position myself.
I think at the time we were saying that it was supposed to go below 6, but then after that it was supposed to go below 3. And he's like, well, if it does that, I'll come back. But then I don't think he ever came back. But so there was
Uzi
some.
Knesset says at Wimmer Kevin, you got it. Face with tongue.
Anyways, the point of that was, I do know that there was at least one subscriber that had a lot of money in it, and they made or saved money off of the call. I wouldn't say it was the call, but off of the data
Eric
and analysis.
Cages says, are you still mining the Sia coins?
No. So we haven't been around when we've been talking about the garlic coins. So I got in, and garlic coin was a thing, and I was like, this sounds like the shittiest shitcoin that you could possibly ever have. So I started mining garlic coins like day one. And I did all this analysis. I said, okay, if Bitcoin, falls down below the 6K, and then we have another bull run later, and they push to new highs because of all this stuff. And this was before they started doing all this funky business that made me not want to be in Bitcoins, right? But I said, okay, if there's another run and then they pump garlic coin, and garlic coin gets pumped up to about where Dogecoin is now, how many garlic coins would I need to have to make $1 million? And after doing all of my calculations and based on the market caps and everything where I thought it could go, I decided that I needed to mine 10,000 garlic coins. Now, at the time, garlic coin was like a dollar a coin. And so certainly you weren't going to buy it. But I just said, well, I'll just mine. And if I mine for like a year and a half, I'll have 10,000. So that's what I did. And now, of course, if you're in garlic coin or you're familiar with the story, then you would know that what happened was that $1 or $2 was like a ridiculous amount. And I knew that at the time. I probably should have sold some of it because I could have made like $100 or so off of it. But I was like, yeah, there's no way that this is worth that much, because the amount that you're making for mining is too high. Like the return on investment in your mining is too high. And so, of course, it fell down, and it fell down to basically nothing. Like it's literally like 0.01 of a cent right now or something like that. And there was all of this stuff, like there was somebody had an ASIC on the network that mined a ton of coins. And so people, that really set off a bunch of people. And then there was also some sort of a scam, like a pre-mine or something like that, where people ran off with a ton of coins. And I don't know if all of those coins got sold or were out on the market or what. But people basically gave up on it and left it for dead. So I'm mining garlic coins, and I'm waiting for the day that I'm going to have 10,000 garlic coins. Now you could probably just go buy them. It's like 10,000 garlic coins is like $20. Okay. But then after it got to 10,000, I was kind of like, well, I don't want this coin to die, because there was a good community of people that were interested. And at some point, crypto was going to become a thing again, and it would be a really good coin for people to mess around with and to learn with and have fun, So I don't want to stop mining. And I don't know what percentage of, I don't know if me stopping mining or not has an impact on the mining of it or not, but like I feel obligated to keep doing it. And so I just keep it running and I just keep mining it. And now I have 20,000 garlic coins. I have twice as much as I wanted. So what we would really like to see is for Bitcoin to bottom out and then see a garlic coin run. That would be great. But I don't know. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but that's what happened with the garlic coins. And the thing is is that there's a lot of things that I would like to
Eric
mine.
Cages says, so what you're basically saying is that I should buy 20,000 Garlic coins?
Well, that's like $20. Go ahead, dude, if you want. I can't promise that it's ever going to go. But remember, the theory of it is if you're going to make money, you want to make money on the shittiest of shit coins. That's where it's going to be. So you could, here's the thing, man. If let's say you bought 20,000 Garlic coins, okay? And then you went and you decided to buy like $1,000 of Garlic coins.
Eric Cages says Galra coins, eh?
Garlic, there's only one C. Garlic coins. Not garlic coins. Garlic coins, I guess. But anyway. Okay, let's say that you put $1,000 into Garlic coin today, right? You would probably make Garlic coin price spike 10 times. I'm not even joking. like the daily market cap volume in Garlic coin is like $200 right now. Okay, so if you put $1,000 into it, you could make it like, maybe as high as 10 times its value today. Like instead of it being worth 0.01 cents, it could be worth like 0.1 cents or something like that. Okay, now if somebody brought $1 million into it, then so like that's the thing is
Eric Cages says
you just gotta
GRLC
wait.
volume 24 hours $1.
$1. Is it really? I don't believe you. Wait, hold on. Let's pull up coin market cap. It's usually more than that, but it's early in the day and all that.
Wimmer Kevin says, okay,
right.
guys, let's
$1.
work together and push this shit.
$1.
We are market makers now.
If we start market making in Garlic coin, that's probably is what we should do.
Uzi Knesset says, forget Garlic coin, go with Cinnamon Toast coin.
Cinnamon Toast coin. Let's get rid of that and get rid of the price in Bitcoin. Okay. So can you see here? Okay, so like right now, it is worth 0.0007. But here was a spike
Eric
came
Cages
in.
says, let's pump Garlic coin.
And it was worth 0.02. Okay. So like you can have swings of like more than double its thing. No. Now I don't want the SEC coming in here and being all, you guys coordinated. We're not a pump group. Okay. We're not a pump group. Okay. Please don't go and do something illegal. Okay. But all I'm saying is maybe somebody will pump it at some point. Not us, but somebody else will come in and pump Garlic coin. Now, I don't think that now would be the best time to pump Garlic coin because, again, we're a little bit concerned about end of year profit taking in Bitcoin, and the fact that we're overvalued, and the fact that there's like the whole tether issue still out there. Okay, but if all of those things came around and we saw like a really low market, and then you could buy a little bit of our Garlic coin and get in.
Kevin says, best time to ump Garlic coin. Got it. Thanks, man.
And then when we run into another cryptocurrency bull market and we're pushing, all-time highs in Bitcoin, and then they pump the Garlic coin and everybody like goes, whoa, these guys, they made, like if they were in Garlic coin and you only put $1 in and that dollar is worth like $1,000 now.
Greg Orlovsky says, what is the market for these CRPTOs?
Oh, so where do you go and buy them? Yeah, that's a good question. It'll tell you down in here somewhere. Markets. Trade Satoshi is the main place. It's even like 0.002 of a Doge coin. Like, come on. That's crazy. But yeah, Trade Satoshi is where it's at. Anyways, but if you get into another cryptocurrency bubble, where like your parents are talking about buying cryptocurrencies and stuff, And then the garlic coin goes off and everybody's going to be like, oh, I want in on this, man. And whew, that could go. And yeah, that's the goal is still $1 million. The goal is I still want to make $1 million. Make $1 million and then I'm out and pay off the house. That's my plan. So yeah, I'm still mining garlic coin, but I would like to mine some other things. So another one that I really like a really good shit coin is Verge, because Verge is like the shittiest shit coin, man. Like it's awful. But they have all this stuff going for them.
Live Action says reminds me of Bainbridge's tulip commercial.
I've never seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that. Bainbridge tulip.
Air Cages says the porn coin.
Yeah, it's the porn coin. Somehow they got a deal with Pornhub to be the first cryptocurrency on Pornhub. I don't know how they did that.
Live Action says it's funny.
It's freaking hilarious, right? I don't see it. Then we need to go videos. Oh, you mean Gainbridge, maybe. Okay, here, we're gonna watch it.
How much for those?
For the troops? He took all of them and doubled the price. I made a fortune.
Tulips? Tulips?
Who will start me off at 40 guilders?
60 guilder each.
200, 240, 260.
I want more. Give me more.
I'll get you my house.
Sold.
I'll give you my house.
Why is a tulip worth so much? It's a tulip.
Tulip prices. It's rock bottom. Tulip.
If only they had Gainbridge, they could have balanced risk with a straightforward high-rate annuity. As long as there's market uncertainty, there's Gainbridge.
Annuity. That's good stuff. Man, I don't know about this market, man.
Air Cages says fuck tulips, garlic coin is where it's at.
I kind of wanted to get another two, but the way this is trading and everything, yeah. I'm wrestling with myself. I'm wrestling with myself because I'm remembering the day that I lost $500. And that was such a crazy market, and there was those
Eric
headlines and
says,
stuff.
So can we all agree that crypto is essentially a scam that will eventually go to zero?
I don't know if it'll ever go to zero, but I don't think that it's worth nearly as much as they're looking for it right now. And especially Bitcoin itself. I mean, there's two large problems, and I think this is still the case. Okay, first of all, they have to increase the block size. They cannot handle the number of transactions that they need to handle. If there was actually a real public rush into Bitcoin, it wouldn't be able to handle the transactions. And when that happens, it's like a total disaster. I mean, it's happened twice now, maybe three times, and it's been bad every time. So there's that. But then the other thing is you're going to get countries are going to get interested in it.
Isn't that what Bitcoin Cash is for?
Well, yeah. So you move over to Bitcoin Cash. I still like Bitcoin Cash because of those reasons and the community behind it. But then the other big issue is like China is going to make their own currency. China's going to make their own cryptocurrency, and if it proves to be useful, and I think that it will, then the United States is kind of going to have to. They're kind of going to have to make a cryptocurrency that's backed with US dollars. Okay? So now you would have like True Tether that is backed by the US government and is literally good for dollars. You could go to the bank and you could trade, crypto dollars for hard dollars, that I think is on the horizon. Okay. If that happens, what is the reason to be in Bitcoin, really? All of the utility is gone because you're going to want to use the US dollars. The only reason to be in Bitcoin at that point is because you don't like the Federal Reserve. And
Air Cages says like you could trade paper dollars for gold?
well, yeah, like you used to be able to trade paper dollars for gold, sure. You'd be able to trade crypto dollars for real dollars at a bank because it's backed by the Federal Reserve. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that now the question is, how long does it take the US government to realize that, and how popular does the Chinese cryptocurrency come in the meantime? But when China started being really positive on Bitcoin, like that was why we had this big, well, at least that's what they claim caused this big buy up to 10K. But I don't think that that's a positive thing for cryptocurrencies in the long run, because that's a competitor. That's a serious competitor, like Facebook was a competitor for sure. Okay. Except for that.
Air Cages says I'm thinking about that short you've suggested again.
The Facebook currency was a competitor. But it really wasn't, because when you looked at what they were actually trying to do, it was pretty clear that the regulators were not going to go along with it, right? Okay, but China, they can do whatever they want. And they are very clearly on the path of making their own cryptocurrency. It's been rumored for a long time, and now they are starting the messaging setup for it. So it's coming here, probably in the next year even. And when it comes out, there might be a bunch of really dumb people that think, oh, this is great for cryptocurrencies, and buys the Bitcoin. But eventually it's going to hurt Bitcoin, because all of the utility from Bitcoin will be gone. And the only reason to want to own Bitcoin at that point is because you don't like fiat currencies. There's an interesting uptick and interesting offers at 14 and 14.5. I really think I would like to, what? Yeah, so this was going back to the thing that I was saying earlier. I remember that day when I lost $500, and the whole thing was that there was some news volatility, and we had a move like we just saw there 30 minutes ago, and we had moves the other way and every which way, and there was all sorts of crazy. And I was like, well, this headline doesn't match up with the thing. It's not a sell. It was a buy, or whatever it was that I thought it was. And I actually ended up being right, but they went and they stopped me out first. And so I'm sitting here like...
Live Action says I have the S chart over ZN and GC, wondering if GC might be easier to trade than ZN.
I don't know about that one. I mean...
Live Action says very similar.
The thing is they're definitely really correlated, and you can definitely get good
Air
trends.
Cages says, is it still possible that Bitcoin will actually live up to the hype someday?
I don't know. I'll tell you one thing is that I don't think that if Bitcoin ever goes to almost essentially zero, I don't think it will happen until after they've mined out every coin. I think that if I was Satoshi, I would be like, okay, I have all of this coin, and I will wait for them to mine everything out. And then when they're done mining everything out, then I become the Federal Reserve, and I control the creation of new coins. And, if there aren't enough coins out there, If they're pushing up too high and it's causing a bubble, then I can sell some and I'll make money. That's what I would be thinking. I think that's what he's planning on doing if he's still alive. And I suspect that he is, and that he's just not in a position personally to be able to be public right now, because your safety would be at severe risk, right? So he's just kind of waiting to get all of his personal life in order so that he can come back out, I think. And then maybe sometime after that, there will be some bubble that will just really completely undermine confidence in the thing.
Air Cages says, are you Satoshi?
You guys today are hilarious. Of course I'm not. I think that Satoshi actually is a Japanese guy. But I digress. I saw this story the other day where the news was reporting that they had talked with a person that claimed to be the real Satoshi but didn't want his identity to be revealed, and he was basically saying, yeah, I need to get my personal life in order first before I can reveal myself. And he was a Japanese guy. And that one sounded very, very credible to me. Certainly more credible than like this Craig Wright and everybody else that was claiming to be the real Satoshi.
Air Cages says that's exactly something Satoshi would say.
Anyways, I don't think this is a market that I want to trade. It is kind of doing weird stuff here, right? Like there's 2,500 at 14. 2,500 at 14.
Live Action says finally winning nice on NQ today. Usually hard for me to trade, just like the structure versus others.
Yeah. So did you make money on the shorts or did you keep going long? You buy after that crazy move down? That would have worked. Man, what a crazy day. Yeah, after that day where I lost 500, I said to myself, I know that I can make a ton trading volatile markets, but I can't when it starts to get insane, I have to be out.
Live Action says why.
I have to be out. And what happened there was insane. It was faster than my internet connection could handle. I need to be out. I made 6 ticks today on my live account. That's really great. I'm super happy about that. So let's just leave it to that. Maybe after the Federal Reserve, maybe they give us a good trade, but that's probably going to be too crazy to trade. So we'll trade that, but we'll trade it soon. Okay?
Live Action says price was running into walls and was just hoping for mini skim bounce, but got more.
I see. Well, good job, Live Action. I still want to know I didn't quite understand when we were selling down why you wanted to buy them, because it just felt like you were very, very against the momentum, and that was it was a trade that made me nervous, but
Limmer
it worked
Kevin
out for
says
you.
That's the spirit. 6T is nice. If you can do it every day, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Listen, if I can have 4 ticks every day, I'd be happy. It'd have to be probably more than 4 ticks to make up for the commissions. But see, 6 ticks and 2 trades, that's great. I'm happy with that. That's $90 to go into my account. And all it would take is 5 days like that to make up for that terrible loss that we had. Although I think I'm a little bit...
Live Action says lost on ZN and unusually S.
You need to live
Air
trade
Cages says you need to live trade the Federal Reserve.
I mean, hey, listen, my best trade ever was live trading the Federal Reserve. It was like the May 2018 meeting, I think it was. It's here on the channel. You can go back and find it. And the Federal Reserve announcement came out. It was a little bit hawkish, and they ticked down, and then a huge 5K offer showed up on the DOM. So I sold below it, and then it just took off, and I made 16 ticks on that one. And then I was like, oh, I should have held it because it went way further. It went way further. It was like so insane. And then it started wiggling around so much, and I lost it all on subsequent trades. This is the thing, is I don't know why it works out this way, but it feels like when you get the good trade, then it's like you should stop.
Air Cages says, yeah, it's going to an obvious move. Don't miss out. Wimmer Kevin says short euro and gold, long S and bonds. Surely one of them will work out.
Right. Well, the funny thing is that all the way through here, I was thinking I should buy 13. That's what the trade that I would have made, but I don't actually really have real support for that trade, do I? Because it's, it came back. There's no real, it's just kind of doing random stuff. And I guess here in the 30 years, it keeps showing up in the 30 year for some reason. I don't know. I don't know if I really had an actionable signal anyways. And like I said, the market is being pretty difficult. And there was those big 2K orders on top of that too. They got through them, but man. Well, does that mean that they're going to go and try and make a push for 18 again? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That's interesting, the way that these targets are up above us. And what about below us? Well, there's still a big old order at 02. Yeah. But it's just like, when you get a really big rush, I think that on a big rush like that, I think that the big market maker takes his profit. And then that's why there's always less opportunity after that, and the reads get worse. So kind of the question here is what if this had not happened? That's the real question, okay? What if this piece of news had not really happened? Were they buying it? Were they planning on moving up higher? If they were, then I think that they continue to move up higher from here. Maybe to 130. Maybe to 130. But if not, if they were actually done here, I don't think that they were, but if they were actually done here. The thing is I took my trade off at 13. Dude, I totally got it right. Look, they came back down. That's the way that the trade should have worked. If I had stayed in that trade, it would have been off plan per se. It would have been holding through multiple swings. But it sure was a crazy thing to watch, wasn't it? Okay, so it's 8:44. I am going to stream the Federal Reserve today. So I come back, 5 minutes before that, and we'll chat and watch it and trade it sim, I guess. But I should get some work done. So I'm going to go do that. Please like and subscribe. Good video, I think. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you get notifications when we're live. If you haven't checked out the Patreon and you're interested in cryptocurrencies, well, even if you're not interested in cryptocurrencies and you just want to support the channel, go ahead and check out the Patreon. It's $5 a month. You get crypto charts every day. I'm about to go in and put those out. And then there is, in the video description, there is an article that I helped write at Optimus Futures that's really good about level 2. I'm quite happy with how it turned out, and I think there's some really good information in there. So I would check it out, or direct your newbie friends to that. This is really kind of more geared towards new people, but and leave a comment on there. If you leave a comment on there, I think that would really help out Matt Z. He would really appreciate it. So I think that's about it. I will see you guys here in what? Well, if it's at the top of the hour, then in like 3 hours. So I'll see you guys then. And in the meantime, stay profitable, friends.